Hi, my name is Jordan Burrs and welcome to iGen. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how you can implement an omni-channel approach into your business. Now, it's impossible for me to tell you exactly how to implement an omni-channel approach, but what I can do is give you a framework to work around and sort of a checkbox to tick to ensure that you can implement an omni-channel approach into your business and start to future-proof it against unforeseen circumstances. Now, the steps that we're going to follow in this video go as follows. Every aspect of your business needs to be on board with the implementation. A point called focus down. Communication is vital. Emphasize specific areas, discounts, and then my final thoughts. So diving straight into the point, every aspect of your business needs to be on board with the implementation of an omni-channel approach. An accurate omni-channel approach accounts for all the channels a customer can use to interact with the system and focuses on delivering a unified messaging across all channels. All teams must work on aligning the messages, objectives, and goals around this approach. The key here is the alignment between different departments in the company. The sooner you get everybody involved in the implementation, the better, and the more smoothly it'll run. For an example, we're going to use Target. I'm going to pop a few images up here on the screen of how their brick and mortar store looks compared to their online store, compared to their social media platforms. And what you'll see is that they have a recurring theme throughout each platform and each store. There's a strong through line in each store that Target has done very, very well in keeping. The brick and mortar store gives the same message and tone as all the other platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, the online store. And to achieve cohesion like this, it is imperative that every single department and person in that department is on the same level and on the same page, and that they understand exactly what is going on. You need to make sure that your departments and your employees buy into what you're trying to do. Otherwise, you simply will not be able to achieve an omni-channel approach that is profitable. The second point that we're going to be discussing is a point called focus down. So this step in your omni-channel strategy should include identifying your main areas of focus. Omni-channel is about giving customers the option to choose how they want to get in touch with your brand. A great way to discover what's working is to listen to exactly what your audience is saying across channels. What you need to do here is create customer personas for perceptions on what pleases them and dissatisfies them. You need to make in-depth personas by considering purchasing habits, priorities, and behaviors across channels. Try to understand the diverse types of buyer's journeys that your shoppers go through in order to create a premium customer experience. A few examples of questions that you can ask them could be: what information sources do you trust? Before you purchase, what criteria are you looking for? What made you want to buy this specific product? What do you find so appealing about purchasing? By asking questions that are very targeted will give you rich and accurate customer personas that you can then use to implement an omni-channel approach. Once your information is gathered from your customers and you've created these customer personas, you can start by analyzing and sorting the data about users across different platforms in data blocks and determining the relationships and trends. You then transform the learning into different actionable items across different teams. So just to break that down, you've interviewed your customers, you've created customer personas, and now it's time to distribute that information across the different teams in your company so that you can nail down this omni-channel approach. This is just harping on the previous point that if any one of your departments is not on board with the implementation, then this will simply not work. So here are a few examples of what each department could do in your business. If you have these departments, obviously if you have different ones, they'll serve their own purpose. So user experience and copywriting teams work on making the site experience and messaging align between all channels. So they are in charge of making sure that every channel has the same messaging, has the same tone, has the same feel when a customer goes to shop there. While the ERP team works on implementing a system that can handle the requests from all the channels while providing reports and analytics to stakeholders. Remember, these are just examples. You may have different teams and different departments within your business. The more teams and departments you can get involved because of the data, the better the chance that the implementation of an omni-channel approach will work. This brings me to the power of marketing automation. Creating a flawless and personalized brand journey for each customer is immensely labor intensive unless you have a way to automate it. Omni-channel marketing automation uses high-powered technology to stimulate the right communication for the appropriate customer across email, web, mobile, and other digital channels. Here's some ways by which you can easily leverage the power of marketing automation. Number 1, understand your audience and address their issues more effectively by getting warnings and alerts of critical issues before they occur, and pay immediate attention on inbound communications with automatic processes. Basically what this is saying is when you get a complaint through an email, through a message or something like that, you need to act fast. Number 2, split your customers by creating different customer groups so as to target them in various ways. This goes back to the persona builds that you did on your customers. If you know that this lady is part of a middle-aged group that like to buy toiletries, then you can target them way easier and help them a lot easier than if it was just randomized. And number 3, this just harps on the fact that you need to build user profiles or personas. Build insightful and rich user profiles by capturing the behavior of your customers. These profiles will help you in implementing personalized recommendations and assist your sales and support team in identifying potential products. So maybe this is a key takeaway. Instead of just building a customer persona once, make sure to keep up with that persona and update it when necessary. Then on to point number 3, communication is vital. Let me say that again. Communication is vital. If there's one thing that you can get right, it is making sure that your communication is second to none, because without any communication, an omnichannel approach just simply doesn't work. If you think back to the Target example, for them to get that right required constant and accurate communication between different teams. How are they going to make a brick and mortar store look a certain way and feel a certain way when a customer enters it? And how are they going to simulate that same feeling on an online store? These teams need to collaborate and communicate and make sure that they're trying to create the same thing. A way you can do this is by establishing a central communication line with the stakeholders, with one project manager managing the whole project. Having a central project management authority makes it easy to control the pace of the project and keep everyone informed about the progress of the project. A key takeaway here is to be as open and blunt as possible with everyone involved, because this will create a better system that will take the least amount of time. Once again, communication is vital. Then, our 4th point, emphasize specific areas. The research that I found online and through surveys I've conducted have shown that customers prefer to shop in-store but expect the same shopping experience online. In fact, more and more users in the past years have been attracted to the shopping experience of a luxury online store. Customers expect that if you walk into a Nordstrom brick and mortar store, their online store is going to give them that exact same message, that exact same feeling that they're shopping in a luxury retail store. So what you need to do is gather data on your company's website metrics, and don't be afraid to invest in a site redesign to evaluate user experience. Social media has also proven to be one of the most successful channels of marketing over the past few years. This is just harping on the fact that you need to open these channels. If you don't have a social media account, you need to make one as soon as possible. You also need to stay focused and continuously optimize your channels. Online and offline channel arrangement must be monitored and reorganized when needed. You should constantly leverage the enterprise considerations and insights to understand buyer priorities, to personalize cross-channel experiences, and add features to capitalize on unique channel characteristics. Here are some tips to optimize your channel mix. Number 1, follow your data, not industry benchmarks. A particular channel working for other companies won't necessarily work the same for you. Use your data to determine whether a channel is successful or not. Like I said in previous videos, you need to be super specific with which channels you open at which times. The second point being, modify or drop the channel that is not generating revenue to meet your standards. Don't be scared to cut a channel if it's not making profit. Then the third tip, consistently monitor top channels. So there's a reason some channels do better than others. You need to do a deep dive into those channels and try and relay what's working there onto your other channels. That's how you're gonna have a truly successful omni-channel approach. Now onto our final point. And this one might seem obvious, but it works to convert people in an online space. Use discounts to close deals. According to Bulldog Reporter, almost 80% of customers said Digital coupons close the deal. It's as simple as that. When you open a channel and it's online, the first few months, offer your customers or new customers deals and discounts. That's how you're going to convert them and bring them into your brand, therefore making a profitable channel. And then my final thoughts on implementing an omni-channel approach. Implementing an effective, automated omni-channel strategy doesn't mean that you should be active on all the successful channels. Just choose the right strategy and follow some essential tips for your customer as well as for your business. With cross-channel integrations, it's easy for you to engage with your audience selectively. This will create truly aligned marketing initiatives resulting in brand loyalty, customer retention, and revenues generated from higher customer lifetime values. So I hope you found this series and this video valuable and that you can take something out into the world and implement it into your business to make you more profitable. Other than that, I'll hopefully see you in another series. My name is Jordan Burrs, and this is iGen.